Game 2 of 3, take it away.
All right, well, JUANZI, he has repented and has found the light and will no longer be piloting the Forbidden Comp in this tournament. We'll see what he has in mind for the next one. He did go for the pretty big loss streak early on in game number 1, so I'm curious to see if he's going to follow that same trend or if he will pick something different.
We'll see. Starting off, oh, there's a guitar. I think you had that little legend there. Start off with a Garen with a rod there.
Now I see what you mean about the guitar.
It's so loud.
It is very loud.
It reminds me of, speaking of bugs, it reminds me of a long, long time ago in the history of League of Legends. Long, long ago, back when I was playing League for the first time. That was my old guy voice. But anyway, let me get back to my normal
voice. Oh, so your normal voice?
I was like, oh no. I knew you were gonna do that. But there was a bug for a short time where Amumu's laugh was global. And so whenever you would laugh with Amumu, everyone in the game would hear it no matter where they were in the map. So you'd be like, from the minute of the game began, you'd hear like, and it was just like the most annoying laugh. And so he had a global laugh for a while.
We got some talented people here. Yo, Olive being the Warwick voice actress, you being the Amumu ones. Wow. How much talent we got here today.
A lot. Tons. Enormous amounts.
Couple warlords for JUANZI already. Just needs one more. Actually has the Jarvan on the bench, so is he one of your favorites? Well,
he found that early Katarina. So he's gonna be able to get that warlord buff in there really early, which is pretty sick. Warlord buff, if it's just a Nidalee giving it to you, it's hit or miss if you're gonna be able to win rounds and really get the warlord trait going, because you get the stat buff, but remember you also need to win rounds to get that extra buff from it. But with the Katarina in there, it should be in pretty good shape. But we're taking a look at I believe it's BOBAE right now. Yeah, that's right. I should just actually look at the screen, and he's got that early enlightened buff going.
Yeah, a couple of units that I don't know if utilize it super well. Fiora is kind of the same as Fiora has been all 4 sets. He still has that riposte. It's still decent for still decent for the early game though.
The moonlight.
Like
no, it's Dazzler.
Yeah,
I do, and I kind of like that better honestly, because it's so easy to find the moonlight trait anyway. That if you can just get Dazzler of the 2 synergy for Dazzler right off the bat. That can be really strong in the early game because it shuts down a lot of the damage coming in from the other team at this point in the game. It's mostly just auto attacks that are determining the fights, right? So I would be picking up that Lysandra in a heartbeat, even without the Moonlight trait.
Same here. BOBAE wanting to wait for a what he perceives as a better one, though. As we go into 2-1. BOBAE against SLOOPER. There's a Diana. If that was in BOBAE's hands, we'll have that 3 Moonlight right now, but not going to be the case here.
Yep. I think Dazzler is a little bit of an underrated trait right now, because it doesn't look flashy when you look at it. You're just like, oh well, I lower their attack damage, yay, But when you think about how it actually functions in the game, like lowering attack damage by 50% for 4 seconds, which is what you get for the first level of that trait at 2, is a lot. That reduces the damage by a ton. Well, half, technically.
Another chosen. Sharpshooter, though. Sharpshooter, I've seen comps that do work out with, going up to 4 and then 6 Sharpshooter. I think there is some interesting things to experiment with there. Not looking like BOBAE is going to want to go that route, though. But how greedy do you really, are you going to be with your first chosen unit? It's one that you can always, sell later on, but BOBAE just not choosing to grab either.
Yeah, the Sharpshooter vein doesn't... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I would pick up most chosen units early, but maybe that is wrong. Maybe you do have to play greedy. I would just think that I want to play the strongest thing I can. So it's interesting, the decisions.
Especially if you're win streaking, right? If you can win streak up to Krugs, and then at that point sell your chosen unit, find the better one. Maybe you don't want to roll down after Krugs. You want to wait until you're a higher level, so you're kind of like, I don't want to sell it because I'll be weaker, but I want to passively find a good one. Maybe at that point you want to be finding a 3-cost chosen to carry you all the way through that mid game, to whereas like a 1-cost or 2-cost might not have that same effect.
Yeah. I think as far as early chosens go, there's just a couple of them that are you kind of want to decide by the trait, I think, that gets chosen. because at the end of the day, it's just a 2-star, right? And so that's strong early on, but you want something that's going to synergize well with your team or do well standing alone. Like 2 Dazzler is good on standalone. 2 Sharpshooter is pretty good because you do get the bounce from that. So he could have worked that in, I suppose. I think it's fine to swap out Enlightened for that. But, you know, it is one of those things, too, where it's like you're kind of looking for the right trait, too, you know?
Yeah.
So he's against
Shoemaker.
Sharpshooter?
Oh yeah, with the sharpshooter buff there. Yeah, with Nidalee and the Vayne, both of them. Has it chosen Janna as well? Wonder which chosen exactly that will be, whether it's Enlightened or Mystic. Oh, it's Enlightened, okay. Right-clicked it. Thank you, BOBAE, for scanning that for us.
Janna's really strong, by the way. She doesn't do damage besides auto-attacking, but she does put shields on everybody. And so when you have the Enlightened trait chosen, she's going to get that cast off more often. And then if you put like a couple items on her, like a Shojin's or something, I think it's worth it, because just being able to constantly shield multiple people on your team during fights helps you sustain really well. I've had some really good results with Janna chosen like that.
Yeah,
do you know
especially early game.
Her shield gives any other buffs, or is it just a flat shield?
I think it gives attack damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, like in the
it does, yes,
yeah.
that's right. Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. But the best part is
It's
just
like
putting a shield on people.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think at tier 2, yeah, she shields 3 people and gives 30 attack damage. So at the early game, like shielding all of those units right there,
wow.
the Nidalee, the Vayne, and the Yasuo perhaps, like that really, it really does add up.
Yeah,
30 damage this early? It's pretty huge.
And you have to keep in mind, too, when she's Enlightened, she's generating more mana as well from her auto attacks.
Oh, yeah.
So she's going to be casting that even more. So all you really need is like 1 tier on her, and she's immediately casting at the start of combat, and then casting it a lot.
Yeah. An interesting synergy little choice that you can make is actually Shojin. Shojin isn't like it is in set 3 right now. I don't think we've talked about it yet. But Shojin will give you flat mana now as opposed to a percentage. It'll give 5 mana per basic attack. And actually Enlightened bonus will synergize with it. So you'll get more than 5 mana per auto attack if it's on an Enlightened unit.
Yeah,
look at these shields. Oh my god.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Look at that. The Zed is basically... Janna's basically tanking that Zed. Finally goes down. Yeah. But that was close. If he'd had a little bit more of a front line, he could have won that fight.
I mean, Levdi's comp was so strong there. Had Aphelios 2 with some items, has Zed 2 being the chosen unit there. Like that was just really strong. You know, as we Levdi 100 HP win streaking fully, so.
Right.
Yeah, we have 2 people streaking. I wonder if they're going to play each other right before creeps.
We'll see. RNG. There are those times when there's like 200 HP players going into like almost stage 4, it seems, depending on how that matchmaking works out. But unfortunate for one of the 2 if they do run into each other right now, losing that streak.
Yeah, pretty much. Nobody wants to have that broken right before Krugs.
Yeah.
He did get in a tankier front line with the Wukong, right? Wukong 2? For Fiora?
Yep.
So he doesn't have the Vanguard buff though, which is interesting. Because maybe putting in the Garen over the Yasuo would help a little bit here, I think. Because the Yasuo doesn't give you anything, right? Because you don't have Duelist, and Exile is just like a shield, and it's not that great of a shield at this point in the game. So I think putting the Garen in would have made this board a lot stronger.
Yeah, maybe we could have won with
perma-shielding.
Yeah. Yeah, so imagine if he had the Vanguard buff in the front line, too. That would be a round that he'd be winning pretty easily. But this time doesn't look like he's going to be able to win it, I don't think. Yeah.
I love watching those sharpshooter shots just ricochet back and forth. They travel so far, but they're still dealing that damage. Ooh, Sejuani, that's a really good Zank for the front line there.
You got to pick that up. Like, swap out that Yasuo. Yeah, there's just sell him. Give it up. What? No. Shoemaker, you're
thinking about it.
Let's take a look at what Levdi is up to. Yeah.
Oh, Levdi and ALPHAGO did run into each other, and ALPHAGO lost by 1 unit there. So Levdi being the sole 100 HP win streaker now.
Yeah. Moonlight Shade is the buff there. So he's going to have that Shade chosen Zed, which just means Zed is going to be popping people for a lot of damage. So just kind of a nice side thing to throw in there. He's not even running the Diana, so he doesn't get the assassin synergy or anything like that. But just Zed on his own being Ninja Shade. Oh, he doesn't have assassin anyway. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
it's just good. Yeah. I'm new, guys.
Jumping,
this set is new.
jumping units.
I don't think I've seen anyone run for Shade yet, but if Lev D ends up finding an Evelyn and then a Kane later on, we could see that for the first time.
It'd be cool.
500
It
bonus
feels-
damage per auto. Like, that would do so much. Or I guess every third auto, not every auto.
Yeah, every auto would be insane. What I've noticed about Shade is it can do really well. Evelyn carry seems good, but like it's very fragile, you know? It's definitely a glass cannon of a trait.
Yeah, what would be your front line with Shades?
You only need 3 units there, so you can have a couple different things. I wonder if Brawlers can just be a good solid front line to put in. I'm more of leaning towards the fact that Vanguards are just going to be good, but it does depend on how much magic damage or attack damage the opponent's comps do have. Maybe Brawlers are a viable option in the point of magic damage.
I want to see some Hunter comps.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah, I feel like
Warwick.
Hunter seems like a good trait, but it seems like people have I've seen a couple good Hunter comps, but it's a tricky one to sort of build around. That right there on your screen is a great way to build around it. Aphelios is a good hunter, but Ashe is also a great hunter to make your carry. So we might get your wish here, Becca.
So is it just Ashe and Yasuo that have been in every single set so far?
Fiora? Question mark.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Fiora.
think Fiora was in set 1.
Yeah, she was
I could be
definitely in set 1 as a
she was
noble.
a noble, yeah, noble.
Oh, she was like a 5 cost, wasn't she? Way back when?
She's still 1 cost.
One cost,
Was
yeah.
she? Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just imagining the Fiora I want to see. I don't know. She deserves it after being in so many sets. Deserves to be a higher cost unit.
I agree. Maybe set 5 we'll see a true carry Fiora there.
Yeah.
On set 4 for now. And set 4, I mean, I'm loving it so far. The Fates, we've talked about it a lot. I love the Chosen mechanic. We're seeing Chosen units just duke it out to the death here. Yasuo being the one that wins.
Yep.
With BT and Hand of Justice. A couple of really strong items there. 6 duelists even as well from Slooper. Wow.
Wow, I want to see his board.
It's
Is
just
Yon-
duelists.
Yeah, is Yon also a duelist? No, right? That would be a little
no.
too strong.
Lee Sin's the 5 cost duelist.
Yeah.
I
Yep,
believe.
that's right. Yeah, he's the divine duelist. Yeah.
Yeah, Yone being the adept.
I think it really feels like Yasuo is a good duelist to build around early, and then Callista becomes a great duelist as well. But what you can do is focus more on sort of a melee-centric build and add things like Warlord, Vanguard, a little bit of Brawler maybe here and there. And then when you get to Master Yi, you can throw him in. And then if you get to a point where you can bring in Yone, another 5 cost, and the other Exile along with Yasuo, then that can be like a really strong late-game addition to a comp like this. If you're not doing the Callista carry.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're doing work, the duelists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting that
Man,
attack speed.
I was theorizing that anything above 4 duelist might just not be great because having to dedicate that many units to a synergy that already gives you attack speed, a decent amount of attack speed when you're at the 4 synergy, that would be too much. But 6 at least for now is seeming strong. I wonder if it'll fall off later on because as we're talking about, you wouldn't really have the front line to be able to supplement that.
Well, it definitely
in my
helps that he has
experience,
the
it does.
Chosen. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
He has the Chosen.
Lulu versus Lulu.
Supportal combat! We didn't get to see the end though, sad. He should have watched that board more. Slooper, please.
Slooper looked at it and was like, I don't want to watch this. Just went back to his own board there. Can't blame him for that one.
Yeah, I would
That's right.
not want to watch that fight.
Has no love for the honorable duel between the support champions. I'm disgusted. I was becoming a Slooper fan, but no more.
Hey, I am a Slooper fan. I'll stick on that train. I think Slooper played really well, getting 3rd yesterday among 3 EU players getting top 4. I think Slooper really proved himself as a top competitor.
Well,
Super
absolutely
sneaked
represented
into the top 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I was just gonna say that with the duelists, him playing 6, it might also be because it is a new set and he just doesn't really want to get too confused in the process.
True.
If you
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
True.
It is so much easier to just build on like one synergy because it is a bit overwhelming when all the champions are new and all the synergies are new.
Oh, that's a great point, because it wasn't until like late into set 2 that people started, running that, a bunch of small synergies, like with some sins getting really complicated and stuff. But at the beginning of a set, it's definitely going to be a lot easier and probably more effective, because you're just going to do it a lot better to just play, one comp, Warlords, Elderwood, something like that. So I think that's a great point for sure.
It's a good way to test things out. I will say, I think this set really incentivizes you to have a lot of side synergies with the chosen mechanic. And it really does a good job of letting you incorporate those pretty smoothly, it feels like. So I think it's going to be a major pillar of the set, is being able to work in little side synergies along with whatever chosen you get. That's going to be a skill everyone's going to need to learn how to play some sins now.
I think I mentioned it briefly, but this set does feel like a really good balance. I thought they did a good job of balancing set 1 and set 2 and set 3 in set 3, but I think this set is such a good balance of buildable synergies, so just like 2 units being in there, 3 units being in there for like and not going for the top tier of the synergy, so like 6 duelists or whatever, and having really impression leaving characters. Each character feels so fun. It's really entertaining to watch, just watching the fights.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if a set 4 meta does kind of establish of you just really don't really want more than like a 3 or 4 piece synergy, and that's really strong here. We do see a 6 piece here with Elderwoods, and maybe those things will be good. I mean, Vigar's doing so much work here, just absolutely demolishing everything. KC double, really making that work.
Elderwood mages with Vhagar carry, I think it's really becoming something, because I've been actually yesterday night and then this morning I was watching Mort stream a little bit, and he was running into people doing this. I saw one in one of my games earlier. This is becoming a pretty common comp to see on the PvE, and I think it's definitely one of the stronger ones.
Oh, Chonk over there smacking his belly. He is so good.
He's drumming.
This little legend.
I love it.
It is great. See, he picked up the new little legend.
Yeah, he did.
He's ahead of the curve. What do you expect? The champion. He knows what to do.
Definitely knows what to do. I think there was a
Volt
suggestion.
with his pig.
Yeah.
Volt, like constant boar. Using the boars.
I think there was a suggestion on Twitter yesterday for like Riot, if you're listening, to design a little legend based off of, KC Double being, the world champion, and all kind of similar to how League gets skins for their champions. But I think that would be a neat little thing there.
1,000,000% in favor of this.
Yes.
That sounds
make it
amazing.
Happen.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about how this comp actually works. So basically, Elderwood gives you stacking buffs over time during combat. So you become tankier, essentially, the longer the fight goes on. And what that does is it just gives Vhagar time to just keep shooting. Because whenever he kills somebody with his ability, he gains 1 spell power permanently. It's kind of a lot like his ability works in League of Legends proper. So over the course of the game, as you're ideally building towards the Vhagar 3, is what it feels like a lot of people go for in this comp, you're going to just be one-shotting everybody. Like, look at that. He almost just killed the Cinder with the very first cast. Yep. And every time he takes someone out, he gets stronger.
There we go. And he's going to be the one doing so. Like, there's no other damage dealers really on the team, so unless someone, KS's and gets that last hit, Vigar's, with this win streak, going to be getting 5 or 6 spell power, like, every single fight.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Kenneth's ult looked a bit bigger than the old one, is it?
I thought so too, but I thought I was maybe crazy, but maybe it is.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that until right now.
Maybe it's because the board is larger than it was in set 1.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
Perhaps.
Since the board is 2 rows wider than it was, or longer rather than it was in set 1, makes sense to make it a little bit bigger.
We can ask Giovanni later if that's a thing that Kenneth's ulti is actually larger or not, or if it's just our eyes playing tricks on us. So I have to remember that one for
our
later.
Imaginations. Yeah. Taking a look at VOLTARIUX's board down there too, as he does a little bit of scouting, I guess.
Just based on the little that I've seen from Volt through this tournament, I feel like this set is going to be so good for a player like him. If he's just always playing the strongest board, and each of these units are so strong in and of themselves, I feel like this might be the set for players like Volt, right?
Could be. It definitely is a. It definitely is a set that seems like it prioritizes playing your strongest board, because you're more inclined to think that way because of the chosen mechanic, and it's like if you're not picking one up, somebody else is. So you're gonna run into more early 2-stars in this set than you did before.
Yeah.
Let's check out what. Let's see. Still on the view of Shoemaker, I guess.
Yeah, we actually got confirmation from Mortdog in the chat that Kennen ulti has been increased.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's a good thing to note. Yeah, I'm curious how Lev D utilizes Kennen into the later stages of the game. You know, maybe wanting to go more keepers, maybe going to go 4 ninjas. 4 ninjas is a thing that I would like in theory. I'm just not sure if it's strong. So seeing that proved would be very interesting to me.
Right. Let's swap again. BOBAE is still going for that duelist build that we saw him do earlier. He's got 4 divine. Divine duelist seems like a very natural way to build a comp like this. He's got the Lee Sin as well, so if you can get a Lee Sin 2 and some items, we're going to start seeing some people get punched off the map.
Wait, Lee Sin and a set on the bench on level 7, 1%. BOBAE.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, is it going to happen? Close. He has to punch you into the corner, and then he can punch you off the map.
Wow, that Kalista did so much work, and she just stayed so safe.
Yep.
Oh, this comp looks fun.
Wait, Kalista
I
has a
think
death
Kalista
cap.
does look fun. Yeah. Does that affect her rend a lot?
I believe it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually curious to look up those numbers there, but it does scale off of magic damage, as you know everything does.
If I recall, when I was testing this yesterday, it increases the percentage health that each one of her spears does when she pulls it out. And she'll only pull it out when the target should die, essentially.
Yeah, so you only have to put in, you know, a fewer amount of spears if you have a lot of AP scaling with that death cap to actually be able to kill the target. So maybe that actually scales a lot better than I originally thought. Only having to auto attack them, you know, maybe like half the amount of times or something.
It's worked really well in all the games I've seen it in. This is becoming. There are no standard builds right now in set 4. Let's be clear. Everything is still very experimental, but people definitely seem to be leaning towards doing a duelist this way. They like the Kalista carry.
Oh yeah.
For good reason. Yeah. This is a good thing to mention too. Guardian Angel is really important on your carries again, because there's a lot of mechanics in this game that delete carries very quickly, like Veigar that we were just watching earlier. So. I think we're definitely back to the time where you want to probably put a GA on your carry in a lot of cases.
Yeah, and having not only assassins but now shades in, 2 things that jump into the back line. Having a GA is going to be that much more important. And speaking of Veigar, we see Casey double again, still win streaking. Both these players are win streaking actually, so one of them will come to an end here.
Yeah, we saw the double bubble from Nami. Nami looks like a really strong early game unit.
I think she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. Kalista too strong though. She did almost 9,000 damage in that fight.
Yep. Wow. It's a strong build, and as you can see too, it's your front line is not your stereotypical tanky front line, but just the amount of attack speed you get, the true damage and healing too. I think you get from Divine. Let me just double check that. Oh no, you take 25% reduced damage. And you start to deal true damage when you get down to 50% health or below. So, yeah, you do get tanky very quickly with Divine up at like 4.
So, what do you guys think he puts in at 8? Is he just gonna play the set, or do you think he'll play Adept maybe with the Aurelia? Maybe a Shen.
Well, yeah.
I wonder what would be the strongest.
I think it's situational. I think Adept's just strong in general. I'm not quite sure, actually. There is the possibility of just 5-cost units being really dominant, and I mean, BOBAE is holding on to the set for a reason, right? I would assume. It's just at what point does he decide to pivot maybe out of that? Because already has a really strong basis of the comp right now with that 6 Duelist and 4 Divine. I can't really imagine anything else being too much better.
Like
there is
Yone.
the 4 Shade.
Yeah. Oh, he did do it. Oh, okay, yeah, he found the cane. All right, now he's got to choose. Does he want blue cane or red cane? And he's gonna go with blue. So this is the damage one. I believe the other one is more self-healing. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Man,
so
4 Shade.
tanky cane or less
seeing
tanky
how this will
cane?
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 ninjas as well paired onto this. Really gonna do
he
wonders
does have
for
4
Zed.
ninjas in.
Yeah. Zed benefits so heavily from both of those. I wonder actually how much damage Zed will do, because 4 ninjas does give a spell power bonus to those ninjas. Shade dealing bonus magic damage. Or is it bonus magic damage? Yeah, it is. So that should scale, right?
I don't know. I'm just looking at that Kennen's
Probably?
items being perfect. I'm excited to watch this fight.
Me too.
One thing with the Runins that we should mention now is that those secondary shots will, I believe, always find a target now. Before, sometimes if you put it on a melee champion, you would just kind of lose out on some of those if there weren't enough people in range. But now, if I recall correctly what I was reading, it should always find someone to hit, those extra hits.
That's really good to know. I always felt a little awkward placing Runons on melee units. I'm glad they changed that.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're looking at BOBAE again. See what he can do with his duelist comp. Still pretty good. If we could swap back over that Shade comp, I would really love to see that in action a little bit here. That would be neat to see.
Same.
So, if we
Yeah,
can...
good to see him win that last round.
Yeah. Too soon. But yeah, Divine Duelist, this should be good for a top 4, I think. The way this comp looks, I know he just lost that round, but I think with if he still keeps getting upgrades in the at the rate you would expect, he should be top 4ing. So back to Lev D with the Shade comp. We're gonna watch this for a little while to see how it performs, because I honestly haven't seen this very often. So I'm curious how it's gonna work out.
Another choice that Lev D could have made was to use the spatula to make Zed a divine. It would only have been 2 divine if you keep the Irelia in at that point, but chose now to put this Irelia out with that in mind. But I wonder how 2 divine would work with Zed, just in terms of strength, because divine's still a good synergy, I think, at only a 2-piece.
Divine eventually gives you true damage, am I right? Or what's that?
It gives you damage reduction and true damage. Yeah, at 50%
both of
HP.
those.
Yep.
Ooh. Maybe
this is kind of what I'm talking about.
Oh my
Shade.
goodness.
He does it.
Wait,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The Zed, actually, that's so much lifesteal. Maybe Rudeads is a better was a better choice there, because he just healed up pretty much everything. Kane, the supporting cast member there, did a little bit of damage. Didn't end up dying to use that redemption there, but still, the shades just pop off.
Right. It's interesting to see too, and I'm glad. This is one of the things I was looking forward to, because obviously, like today, like we're not here for the competition, right? We're here to just see like these big brains experiment with the set and see what they come up with. So I'm glad we're seeing someone take 4 Shade for a spin, because it's a difficult synergy to get to unless you get that chosen. And even if you do, a lot of times when I've seen people try this in the past, well, a lot, like over the last week, it just seems so fragile, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see this.
I wonder, how do you guys feel about Akali on this set?
I'm not sure. I want to like Akali, but I haven't really seen her do well enough to where I think she can be a consistent carry. Maybe there's like a 4 ninja build with all of those buffs that should be able to be good, but just a little hesitant right now to say that she's strong.
Wow.
Big loss.
That was very fast. Yeah, Shoemaker just slammed Lev D, and this is kind of what I was talking about with this 4 Shade build, is that it does a lot of damage, but it's very fragile. You are a melee glass cannon. You're a glass sword, I guess, which doesn't sound very good, but, you know, it can still cut things. But you were mentioning the Akali, actually, and I know I've been saying this a lot today, but I actually did try an Akali carry build yesterday, because I was thinking the same thing, because she does do, like, a pretty decent chunk of single target damage, but there's just nothing along with that, right? It's not like Shaco where he jumps out of combat for a second, and it's not like it stuns or does anything. It's just damage. So I tried it, and she can do a lot of damage, and she does it quickly, but yeah, it just didn't seem to keep up with the other carry options. There might be something there, but it didn't look super appealing to me yesterday when I tried it.
Yeah, I mean, watching that last fight, she did not look like she was able to get too much done. It didn't look like she killed anyone very quickly either. Well, what a shot.
Yeah.
Ooh. Actually getting Enlightened and Adept with that Irelia in. I like that. I wonder if Lev D will try to go for Kennen 3. So I think Kennen's kind of like a little bit of the unsung hero in this composition. Having that AoE massive stun, applying Morellos to everybody. I think it's super, super strong.
Yeah, 4 ninja. as well. And things like the Adept is going to help him a lot, right? Because anything he can do to reduce the incoming damage is going to be really valuable because he doesn't have a tanky team at all.
Yeah.
See what he does against VOLTARIUX here.
That is a
VOLTARIUX, the
three-star
tier 3 Vigar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Double Shojin.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's deleting
this might be
everything.
rough.
Boom.
1 and a 2, and yeah.
Evelyn.
Oh.
Oh, all right.
The Evelyn,
nice.
the Evelyn went stealth and
Wow.
canceled the Vigar cast
Yup.
there, so she was able to. Oh my God, that was so clean, actually.
Wow.
Big
Mechanics.
Huh.
He's actually
That
going for
is
the
really
Evelyn 3 as
interesting.
well.
Yeah.
You know,
I wanna
it's
see
one of
that
those
Evelyn
fights
3.
where it's like, if you're the Vigar player, you're like, all right, well, if I play that guy again and I just happen to hit his Evelyn first, then that doesn't happen, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that as well. Oh wow, Shen 2, that's a really nice find. But that's cool to see it work against a strong comp like the Elderwood Vagar Mage carry.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that guarantee would have gone the other way in that Vigar winning, but I mean, Vigar specifically does target the lowest health enemies, so he won't be able to target those shades that are probably gonna be dropping aggro and not gonna be dropping low HP. So it's more likely that they'll be alive towards the end of the fight. Zed specifically because he has that lifesteal.
That is a 3-star Zed.
Oh my.
The Mia Ping left, probably jealous.
Can't blame
A
him.
little bit.
Oh, Zed got a Zephyr there. And does that mean... Yeah, I was going to say, the Zed does not get into the action. There's a Zed 3 on the other side, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
ALPHAGO, tier 3. So strong. Actually had some interesting Kindred items as well. RFC blue buff. I wonder if Kindred is viable kind of as that set 2 playstyle. You get that, say, RFC blue buff, some AP, maybe in the form of like a death cap or something. If she'll actually be able to do work there. I have to check that out later.
Yeah, I wonder. I haven't seen that a lot yet, so that's one that I honestly have not tried yet. Gonna have to do that today.
What unit is that? Is that Nunu? A golden Nunu?
That is Nunu, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He looks a
Nunu
little
3.
silly in all gold.
Nunu 3,
this is gonna
he might
be-
look silly, but he is terrifying.
Yeah.
He is. This is going to be 6 mage, 6 Elderwood next level for VOLTARIUX here.
Yeah. Could be. If you can find one more, or maybe make someone an Elderwood.
Has
He
the
has
Ash on the
his
bench.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay, there it is.
There we go.
Wow.
2 6-piece synergies is not something you're able to see achieved very often at all, but with the Chosen
Yeah.
Annie Mage and with the TF having that Elderwood spat, it's actually, viable.
Wow. I really like this build. This is the kind of thing that I think is going to be really neat about the Chosen mechanic and about set 4 in general, is your ability to have the opportunity every game to go for synergies that would not normally be possible. The builds, I almost wonder if the concept of like a standard build is kind of going to become something of the past, to a certain extent in this set, because of just how much you can swap those standard builds up with the Chosen mechanic and the spatula mechanic.
I love watching this Vigar.
Yeah.
It's dealing 3,000, like 2,000 to 3,000 damage just per cast there. He casts twice because of Mage.
Yep.
I wonder how much he's farmed the AP so far.
I'd love if VOLTARIUX would just right-click that Vigar right now so we can see that spell power.
Probably
Please,
a lot
sir.
at this point. Shojin's
It's
Jeweled
definitely a
Gauntlet
lot.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge. Not to mention at 6 Mage, you get, 110%, 120%
Yep.
spell power?
Ooh,
Yeah,
Lilia
10%, I
too.
believe.
Yeah, I think it
Ooh,
was
can't-
120 and it got lowered a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't want to sell the Annies. Oh, considering it actually does end up selling the Annies, so... Man, it was only
Wow.
one away, though, from tier 3 Annie. I guess the point where VOLTARIUX is 14 HP, you could lose in one round, so you want that power spike right now as opposed to greening out for later. So I do like that decision there.
Yeah.
So I have a question. If he were to sell that Annie with the items on it, would he lose the Chosen even if he has another Annie on the bench?
Yes, I believe you'd lose
Yep.
the Chosen. there.
Oh.
Yep. Because
Okay.
because that one would be the Chosen champion. So if you sell the Chosen one, then it's just gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Does not
wow.
transfer. It's non-transferable, unfortunately.
Well, I'm surprised
Man.
Volt is losing.
And he may be out.
Yeah, the brothers,
out.
too strong
Wow.
from SLOOPER, Yone Yasuo.
Yep, if you can add that Yone in late, the shield they get, and they get a bunch of lifesteal, it gets real strong real fast, especially with the items that SLOOPER has on this. This is like pretty much the peak strength, I think, of this comp. Being able to get a Yone 2 and the items on him, that's really, really good.
Totally.
I was gonna ask what you guys thought was the best in slot for Yone so far. I know it's like really early, but I had no idea how I wanted to play Yone. So I'm curious, how do you guys think you should build it? I think the GA seems really nice.
Yeah, I like the GA. I think Hextech is just a great item on anyone that does a big chunk of damage. So that's just going to be a lot of healing. Third item, though, I don't know. I think it's hard to say.
I think spell power actually Yone would benefit a bit from. It's not like he's really carrying with his auto attacks that much. He's not like a duelist or anything, as opposed to Yasuo. So I think having one defensive item like a GA, a Gunblade, and then something else might be good. We're actually losing that round to KC doubles Vigar. I wonder what was the difference between that fight and the fight versus VOLTARIUX actually. That's
Does doubles Vigar have more
9
sustain?
Elderwood. 9. I think it was a 9 Elderwood.
That's
dude.
some sustain.
I've never seen that before. That is crazy. That is so much.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we're down to our top 2 with KC double 61 and JUANZI. JUANZI make it into the top 2 at least once again.
That's right.
What?
So doesn't even need the Forbidden Comp. See, we knew he was a good player anyway.
Ooh, 6 Assassin from JUANZI.
Wow, 6 Assassin? What?
Okay, we were talking about that earlier. Can Assassins be viable? Maybe when you get 6 of them, it can be.
Yeah.
I'm sure that helps, yeah. Because that's just such a huge bump to their crit chance and their damage and everything. Crazy.
Yeah. We'll see it right here.
All right.
I have absolutely no idea what is going to happen in this fight.
Me neither.
Excited to watch, though. I want to watch Katarina. What does she do? Does she carry? It takes a while for her to get her ulti off. Oh,
that is real.
She got it off.
She's doing damage, actually, yeah.
Yeah. They're slowly chewing through these Elderwood champions. Set slams in, and that's going to be enough damage to win the fight.
Yeah, Katarina doing 7k damage there, Akali dealing 4k. It's interesting, if you have RFC on Akali, you know, she used to not cast her spell at that point back in the day, but now she does, actually. She'll cast her spell from no matter what range she's at, it seems, because it did work with RFC there.
Yeah, I think she still only hits people in her normal range, though, right?
It looked like it was hitting. She cast from very far away. I guess we can take a look at it again during the next fight, but I believe it did work out, unless I'm crazy.
I've been afraid to try that because I was like, all right, am I going to get into the trap where, yeah, I'm doing it, but then if I ult, just no one's around me?
Yeah.
So I'll have to try that. I don't know.
We'll see here, because Akali is jumping to the side. Warlord Akali at that.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about his Warlord, the Sand Soldier placement?
I didn't get to see it before the round started.
It was just in the back row. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Man.
JUANZI. He did it again. He found
he did it.
He found a new
the Forbidden
synergy.
Comp.
Yep, that's right.
JUANZI maybe going
6
triple
assassin.
first once again.
Triple
Could be. 6
That would be the
assassin,
third
6
triple
warlord, I think
first
that
in
was.
this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, JUANZI is
Players are just
legit.
dominating.
Yeah. But that was such a good example of, you know, again, like what excites me about set 4 is that the way the chosen mechanic works, it just really, really switches up what you think about when you're playing through the game, where it's like you need to really be able to recognize where you have an opportunity to get to those really high levels of like prestige synergy, like something like 6 Assassins, because that's something you have to think about like a little bit in set 3 with spatula items and all that, but in set 4 that always needs to be part of your game plan, is how you're going to handle that if you come across it. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, we in that last fight we saw 9 synergy versus 6 synergy, both at the max tier. Yeah, it's definitely different.
That excites me actually a lot. You know, the assassins really doing work there. JUANZI's inspiring me to want to go into, you know, some games later on today or something and try that out. I think that Katarina looked super good. The Akali actually did as well, and you know, we just get to see what those top tier synergies can do. Theorizing, you know, with that question, is it better for smaller piece synergies or larger ones? It's gonna be easier at the beginning of a set to do those larger ones, but we might see a little bit more of that shift as the set goes on.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen that Vhagar carry Elderwood build lose, actually, and that was even like an extreme version of it. So it's so definitely that's a fun one to play on the ladder if you get a chance to do the Vhagar carry. It's a really fun build, and don't be afraid of assassins because normally there's not going to be 6 of them. But either way, that was neat to see that something can beat it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, let's throw it over to Giovanni to get a little bit more insight into what we saw in that last game.
Yeah, we had some super cool compositions there, pretty varied endings. We saw 6 duelists, 6 assassins, 9 Elderwood. I wanted to start off by just pointing out how early KC Double ended up having these 6 woodland. He not only had a commander, chosen in excuse me, an Elderwood, but also ended up with an Elderwood Spatula super early, put on the Tom Kench early, eventually ended up transitioning it over to, I want to say, a Warwick, and then to someone else at the very end. But super cool to see just how early that power spike can occur in a combination between Chosen and Spatula items. And you can just see the power of this comp super early, getting those Vhagar stacks that ended up carrying him to second place. Second up, I wanted to show off Callista here in 6 Duelist. You can see her in the back line. Her attack speed has kind of been solved for Duelist for her, and she can just go to town with this Death Cap to increase the amount of Rin damage, and the Hurricane to hit multiple targets, just chewed through enemies, even the tankiest, all through the mid-game. Really powerful. And then finally here, we'll show off this final fight here. It seemed like 9 Elderwood was completely unstoppable. It had been dominating the game for a long time, but these assassins can just get in the backline and deal tons of damage before those Elderwood stacks can get really powered up. They take about 10 seconds to fully empower, and assassins just take them out in 3 to 4. So.
Yeah, Giovanni, we saw the Assassins, we saw the Elderwood. Now that we've gotten 2 games into the set so far, I mean, when we think about our last showcases, we had like the 2 lobbies, and Lobby 2 always learned from Lobby 1, and we're a little bit better prepared, I could say. So as we move into Game 3, do you think that the 8 players in this lobby have established anything that could resemble a meta?
Probably not so far. I think it's one of those things where when you see mages like really start to surge up in power, assassins and shades sort of come in, and then we'll see players like moving positions and maybe running vanguards. And so I think there's still a lot of options and flex room for players. A lot of the casters had honestly mentioned that just playing your best board, what's really strong for you and what's coming into you and adapting to that is super powerful. So I expect we'll be seeing that a lot more.
All right, then the last question that I have for you. We were actually talking about this before we were getting into Game 2. With all of these new little legends coming out, some of them do have pretty cool features. And I was browsing through Twitter during one of our breaks, and I saw one of the game designers point out that the 3 little legends may actually be forming a band. Can you confirm that? Or can you give us a little bit of a tease?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this has been posted on Twitter, and I will probably end up putting a video out on this right before release. But if you end up taunting with the Little Legends, one of theirs is a musical related one, and they all line up together super well, and they play together to make this really awesome song. But I will say that they don't automatically line up. They don't join at the right time. So my expectation is in reality, probably when this first comes out, you'll have a lot of people off beat by half a measure as they try to join in. And, it's just the fun of Little Legends.
Yeah, included in the TFT loading screen where you get, tips and everything, just music theory should be showcased there. But thank you once again, Giovanni. We'll catch up with you again at the end of the day. But let's go ahead and take a look at our Game 2 winner once again, or should I say Game 1 and Game 2, because JUANZI, again, pulling off the win with those assassins. And would you look at that, the 3rd champion he has on his board right there, set. Yeah, congratulations to JUANZI. He is now definitely at the top of the standings as we go ahead and take a look at that. 8 plus 8, I'm going to do the math in my head. Boom, 16 points. Here we have SLOOPER at 11 points right next to him, and then KC Double and VOLTARIUX at 10 as well. SHOEMAKER is not having a good day. What is going on, buddy? 2 last place finishes. Now, as we get into that third and final game, we're going to see if JUANZI can pull off the 3-game-in-a-row first-place run. He did it in the middle of the Galaxies Championship, so now let's see if maybe he could bring that skill to this fun showcase that we have as well. Now, remember, everyone, if you're enjoying watching the new TFT Fate set, it's not too far off for you to also get your hands on it. You can explore the Fates in Teamfight Tactics next set, which launches next week with the 10.19 patch. Show some support and share your favorite moments on social media using that hashtag TFTFates. Now, we have the third and final game coming up shortly, but before we get into that, we are going to take a quick break. So for more Fates action, stick around.